gentlemen, the officiating crew for this evening's match is as follows. The referee is Elvis Osmanovich. The assistant referees are Sejpan Jiwa and Tyler Barosta. The fourth official is Jacqueline Amaya. It's now time to announce tonight's starting lineup for this evening Ottawa Fury FC. The goalkeeper number 1, Callum Irving. Defender number 22, Jamar Dixon. Defender number 26, Thomas Theor Jiguer. Defender number 58, Dakota Barnathan. Defender number 7, Aniwa Olmasi. Midfielder number 19, Iago de Freitas. Midfielder number 6, Chris Manila. Midfielder number 8, Jeremy Gagnon Lapare. And forward, the captain, number 9, Carl Howard. Forward number 10, Kevin Oliveira. And forward number 17, Cristiano Francois. The head coach for the Ottawa Fury FC is Mr. Nikola Popovich. And now, a starting lineup for your New York Red Bulls 2. The goalkeeper number 24, Evan Laurel. Defender number 37, Alan Giannis. Defender number 55, Austin Kilwine. Defender number 35, Jordan Scarlett. Defender number 91, Reese Buckmaster. Midfielder number 80, Chris Lemma. Midfielder number 51, Kyle Zayas. Midfielder and captain number 88, Vincent Bezecourt. And forward number 50, Jared Stroud. Forward number 39, Sebastian Ilney. And at forward number 11, Marcus Epps. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the New York Red Bulls is Mr. John Warnick.
A perfect July 4th weekend in Montclair, New Jersey, and we are going to get it kicked off with some USL Championship Soccer. New York Red Bulls, too, and Ottawa Fury, both looking for a chance to jump into top 3 in the Eastern Conference, facing off for the second time this season here on ESPN+. David Goss and Mike Grella with you for this one. These two teams coming off some tough results coming into this game for New York Red Bulls, too. It was a 3-game road stand, 1 game canceled because of weather. They drew their final game against Charleston Battery on the road, and then Ottawa Fury, a 92nd minute goal they gave up on the road against the Tampa Bay Rowdies to fall in that one as they come here. And let's take a look at our star players. Mike, Cristiano Francois is going to try and lead the line up top for this Ottawa Fury side.
Yeah, 5 goals and 4 assists. You can see he's a very productive player. I'm excited to watch him play tonight.
Only his first year in Ottawa Fury colors. Francois trying to lead what is a slightly rotated team for this Ottawa Fury side to what would be a massive road victory for them, trying to move up the standings. On the flip side, for New York Red Bulls, too, some changes to the lineup. One man who's been consistent all year is Jared Stroud.
Yeah, Jared Stroud, really exciting player to watch. He's very productive and awesome player. Awesome player, very, very smooth with the ball and exciting player.
Scored against Ottawa in stoppage time to equalize. Up in Ottawa earlier this season, he'll slide out wide with Vincent Bezecourt in the lineup once again. A dangerous attacking core for this New York Red Bull 2 team, one of the top scoring teams in the league. We've got some good action coming up for you. We are looking forward to it. We'll be right back with starting lineups and all your first half action coming up here on ESPN+.
With MSG Go, the game goes where you go. So you can watch live Red Bulls games anywhere you want. It's free and easy because if you get MSG, you get MSG Go. Watch your favorite team wherever you are with MSG Go, presented by Lexus. Download it for free where you get your apps.
Gets it back. He will take a strike.
Played in. Laurel gets a hand to it.
Denied by Laurel from point blank.
He's standing on his head right now.
Marcus Epps finds some space.
Barlow putting it in, back of the net. No slowing down, number 74. New York puts the exclamation point on this one tonight.
Two sets of anthems with a Canadian opposition in the house against New York Red Bulls, too. The fans out and ready to go for this one. New York Red Bulls, too, in their home reds, and the Ottawa Fury on the road in their road whites. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Canadian Championship action coming up later this week for Ottawa Fury, so a little bit of an adjusted lineup for Coach Popovich, but he's got some danger. We talked about Cristiano Francois up top. He's got a lot of pieces that he can go to in that attack. Obasi and Dixon returning into that back line for Popovich. And then on the flip side for New York, it's almost been a running door at the fullback spots as Rick Buckmaster and Alan Yanez get the start in this one. Kilwine returning once again, and then Chris Lima and Kyle Zayats in the holding midfield spots for that man, Coach John Wolnick. Looking to return to winning ways here, Mike. Coming back from a 3-game road stand, one of those games gets canceled, an odd situation, but now you get a chance to come back home and play in front of your friends.
Yeah, this is a great place to play. I'm excited to watch this game, a team that's going to try to play possession in Ottawa, and the Rebels, we were well aware of the way they're going to play, high press, high energy. This should be a good one tonight.
And you see there, Nikola Popovic, you mentioned it, he sees the game in a different way than many coaches. He wants to dominate possession. He wants to control the game, but it's not an easy thing to do against this Red Bull style.
Not against Red Bulls, not away from home, and especially not it's a little bit hot tonight, so when you play possession, you need to be able to move a lot, and you need to run a lot as well when you play possession. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting game.
79 degrees is what the weather says. It's a real feel of, 175 degrees here at this ground. Feels like 85 is what they're telling us, and that is definitely false. David Goss and Mike Grella with you here on ESPN Plus for this one. The Canadian side on the road against New York. It was a thriller up in Canada when these two teams faced off on Education Day. That was a 10:30 a.m. kickoff. Jared Stroud scoring in the 92nd minute to equalize that game. We have always seen exciting matchups between these two teams, so we expect it to continue here today. These two sides looking to move up in the standings. Ottawa currently in 6th in the Eastern Conference. New York Red Bull 2 sitting in 4th place in the Eastern Conference, but both of them with games in hand on the teams ahead of them. New York Red Bulls 2 would jump to 3rd with a win here today. Ottawa would jump over New York Red Bulls 2 with a win here today, and they would move into 4th place. Mike, it's midway point of the season. Are you talking about things as a team like standings, or are you looking forward? Or are you just focusing on the one result?
It's some teams are really result based and result oriented, and they're really, this time of the season, they're pushing to get results and get themselves in the playoff picture. And then there's other teams. I think New York Red Bulls 2 are one of them, in that they want to stick to who they are and stick to their characteristics, stick to what they're working on during the week, and look at the big picture and let the results take care of themselves. But they want to make sure that they check off their boxes and hit their accomplishments of what they're trying to accomplish in the game tactically.
Last time New York Red Bulls 2 played here, they beat Louisville City FC, the 2-time defending champions, 1-0 in a dominating performance. And will look to do so once again here against Canadian opposition. This time, Elvis Osmanovic, our head official, getting ready to kick this one off. Perfect Friday afternoon, July 4th week. We appreciate you all of you for being here and watching this one with us. New York Red Bulls 2 and Ottawa Fury facing off for the final time in the regular season here in 2019. New York Red Bulls 2 in their all red shirts with red shorts. And we'll be going left to right on your monitor. Ottawa in their white shirt and white shorts going right to left as we are kicked off. Vincent Bezecourt wearing the captain's armband for the 2nd straight week. He is still on the road to recovery. Sebastian Elney gets called for the foul. Mike, knee injuries. And for Vincent Bezecourt, recurring ones.
Yeah.
2-time MCL on his right leg, a 1-time MCL on his left leg. Mentally, how do you get yourself back and comfortable to play the game at the highest level?
It's difficult. You don't want to be injured, and you go through a lot mentally and physically through those processes, but Vince is such a strong-minded individual, and physically and mentally, he really is a strong guy. So he's going to continue to do what he's always done, and that's just work as hard as he possibly can and let his ability and his attitude speak for itself.
Howarth down the wing here. Clips this one to the far post. Dangerous ball. And the header goes wide. Kevin Oliveira trying to get on the end of that one. Early danger here for the roadside in the opening seconds. Jordan Scarlett able to get enough physical contact there to throw Oliveira off. Now having a conversation with our head official. Evan Loro, his 60th career start for New York Red Bulls 2, the all-time leader in starts for New York Red Bulls 2 in this young franchise's history. University of Michigan alum. Last this one long. That one will go out for a throw-in coming here for Ottawa. Gagnon, Lepay. Sitting in that central midfield for this one.
Yeah, you can certainly see there's been a very slow start to this game. I know it's still early, but very slow start. I think guys are trying to conserve energy. I remember when I played in these kinds of games when it was this hot, you try to conserve as much as you can.
Stroud here with some open space. Yanez with the ball down the line. It'll be too much for Sebastian Elney. It'll be taken easy by Callie Irving, Canadian goalkeeper. His 14th start of the year out of Vancouver. Was the full-time starter in 2017 for this team, setting the record for minutes and consecutive starts in Ottawa history. Lost his spot last year to Maxime Crépeau, but has been able to regain the starting gloves here in 2019 for Nikola Popovic. Popovic in his second season with Ottawa out of Belgrade, Serbia. Speaks 5 languages and has basically coached in every country around the world.
It's incredible.
This makes it easy in soccer where everyone, it seems, speaks a different language.
Yeah, I mean, most guys you can speak to them with hand gestures, and a lot of them understand their fair share of English, but it certainly helps if you can speak 5 different languages.
He's been an assistant coach with the Cape Verde national team, has coached in Spain, in Portugal, in Qatar, as well as in Canada and the United States. Coached Swope Park Rangers as an assistant in the 2016 USL Championship game, a 5-1 loss at New York Red Bulls 2 at Red Bull Arena. He then took over when Mark Dos Santos left after 2016. Popovic took over Swope Park Rangers, led them to the final once again in 2017. Another loss that time at Louisville City FC. And now in his second year with Ottawa, trying to institute his style. Kilwine launches that one. We've seen for Sebastian Elney playing at center forward in this one, Mike, we've seen him play out on the wing a lot.
Yeah.
You're a player who swapped between those positions. How much of a shift is it in terms of how you play in your role when you go between those two spots?
There's a shift in some of the responsibilities that you have tactically, but I think for the most part he's going to rely on his attributes that made him a good player, which is physically he seems like he's a very, very powerful player, and he has some pace to his game. So he's going to use those in both positions, but I think just tactically and responsibility-wise, the roles do change.
Tom Barlow in the building today. 8 goals, still the leading goal scorer on the year for New York Red Bulls too, although he hasn't played with this group for about 2 months now. Mathias Jorgensen, the Danish youth international, has taken over the starting center forward role. He's got 6 goals in 8 appearances with this team. On the bench here today is Jorgensen. Sebastian Elney getting the start. 1 goal so far in the year, his first year of pro soccer out of the University of Maryland. And only trying to earn more and more minutes as this season rolls along.
I've liked Elney. Every time I've watched him play, I think he's applied himself, the right attitude, right energy. He's used his body, and I think he's done well.
Coach Wolonek seems to agree with you as he's earned more and more time under Wally as the season's gone along. Brought down here by Ottawa. Francois drops that one back to Obasi. Manua Obasi along with Jamar Dixon in the starting lineup here today. Both those players lockdown starters last year under Coach Popovic, struggling to get equal minutes here this year. Obasi in just his 5th start of the season. This is Dixon's 4th start after starting 24 games last year. Dixon in that right back spot.
Ottawa have started well now, controlling the ball, passing it, very patient.
And this is what Coach Popovic wants to see from his teams. Teams that control the ball, move the opponent side to side. And Mike, we were wondering in this heat, would it hurt Ottawa traveling or New York because of the style they want to play? It's tough to press all out for 90 minutes in this type of weather.
Yeah, it really is. To be fair, the field is shaded.
Only on the break now. Goes wide for Stroud. Stroud looking to cut in. Tries to play the square pass, and it's knocked away by Ottawa. A flick on from Woolworth. Now pushed wide, and a chance for Ottawa to break the other way. Manila gets it wide for Francois. 1v1 with Buckmaster.
Good speed from both players.
Francois, the Haitian Youth International, has had a lot to smile about over the last few weeks as Haiti's put on a show in the Gold Cup. A number of USL Championship players a part of that performance. Part of some of the great performances across the Gold Cup. Some USL Championship greats. Mike, the first time we've seen this game open up there, though. New York gets on the break a little, the mistake, and then Ottawa aggressive back the other way.
Both teams have gotten the ball into some pretty good areas and just haven't been patient enough and haven't been clean enough. Still early, and maybe it's a little bit getting used to the heat.
Zayat's flying forward, gets it to Epps. Obasi hounding Epps. And eventually Epps draws the foul. Obasi, the 30-year-old out of Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Came to the United States for college and has stayed to play professionally with Ottawa since 2016. It's a big difference when you look at 30, 31-year-olds on Ottawa and then this New York team, guys like Elney and Reese Buckmaster in their first year of professional soccer. A lot difference in terms of experience in these groups.
Yes, certainly. The experience is a big help. Experienced players, that's their advantage. But then you get these younger guys coming out of college, and they can really play, they can really run, and they're talented guys. They just need to sort of sharpen their tools and get their experiences.
Lima will take this one. Talking to Buckmaster over the top of this free kick. Chris Lima, second year with New York Red Bulls, steps up. Floats this one over the head of everyone and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you wonder how the heat affects the guys, or maybe if it's just a lazy weekend or what it is, but very not clean. The first 10 minutes hasn't been clean at all, and both teams, like I said earlier, gotten into pretty good positions, but it's been very, very sloppy. You see that free kick there and just sort of giving away a pretty good opportunity to get something.
About a 9-hour bus ride for Ottawa Fury to get here for this game. And on the flip side for New York Red Bulls too, I guess everyone's allowed to have a hot dog on July 4th.
Absolutely. I think it's important that you let loose sometimes, also just for your mental
yeah, I don't
sanity.
think I could be a professional soccer player at all. July 10th, Ottawa Fury will face off against Halifax Wanderers out of the Canadian Premier League, the inaugural season of the Canadian Premier League. Those teams joining into Canadian Championship action as we get our first yellow card of the game. Carl Howarth wearing the captain's armband. So excuse me, that one shown to Thiago.
Sometimes an early yellow card can help the game, just because if not, it can get really, really choppy if he's allowing too many things to go on. So an early yellow card can help the game so that both teams are defending honestly, and spaces can be exploited, and some of the game we want to see, the passing and the movement and the goals and the shots and opportunities, that allows that to happen a little bit more.
Not spoken like a true Italian on that one. Lemo will push it wide. Our head official for this one, Elvis Osmanovic. Space now for Bezecourt. He can't wrap his foot around this cross. So third round of Canadian Championship qualifying coming up for this Ottawa team at Halifax. New York Red Bulls 2 will also play on July 10th at Bethlehem Steel. Coach Wolnick told us enough time between this and that game to not have to worry about minutes for specific guys, to let this one play out and then look at what the group looks like going into that Bethlehem game.
Yeah, you said 5 days, so plenty of time. especially with a lot of these guys are younger guys, stronger guys. They can probably play every 2 days. So.
Do you prefer at this age to just get games and get games?
Well,
or do you want training sessions to work on things?
When I played, I preferred to have as many games as possible. I liked having 2 games in the week. So
a crunching tackle, and no surprise there as the arguments start early. But it feels like every time you're in a game and you watch Jeremy Gagnon-Lepierre play, you are going to see 1 or 2 of those. So already a yellow card shown to Thiago in midfield for Ottawa. And it looks like Gagnon-Lepierre is going to get one as well. It's 5 caps for the full Canadian national team. And there, after a little conversation, see the card shown. So 2 of the 3 central midfielders for Ottawa, 12 minutes in this one, already have picked up a yellow card.
Yeah, it's good because they've sent a message now, and the Red Bull midfielders know that they're there. Yeah, he's just really late and sloppy for me in that challenge.
Do you think he's sending a message there with that, or you just thought mistimed?
That's a good question. I'd have to see it again, but either way, he's hit him pretty hard there, and he's shown that he can be physical, and both midfielders have so far. So that's a good thing. Bad thing is that they've got 2 yellow cards. They need to be careful now because this game could slip away if they lose one of them.
And you have to think against New York, and when you know the game's going to open up, there'll be breaks you have to slow down. You want to be able to pick up a yellow card as a central midfielder, so now that's something they'll have to think about.
That's right. The art of fouling. Knowing when to stop counterattacks is very important.
Comes back now. Gagnon-Lepierre trying to tackle Elney there, and then Buckmaster puts it out right into his coach's arms. Dave Agassi and Mike Grella with you here on ESPN Plus. Every USL Championship game on ESPN Plus for you all season. Some fantastic midweek action with fireworks to boot over the course of July 4th. And now Women's World Cup, Copa America, and Gold Cup finishing up on Sunday. So we'll all turn our eyes full-time back to the club scene. Giannis up the line, too hard for Stroud.
You see Giannis there, so tucked in. And he's over the other half of the field, and it may look awkward, but it's what the New York Red Bull 2 try to do. They try to make really compact spaces and make it difficult for the other team to play. And you can see with Giannis's position there, it's almost awkward to look at. He's like 50 yards inside, and he's the left back.
Tune into ESPN 3 on July 12th at 10 p.m. for a special Friday night edition of Wednesday Night Soccer when Tacoma Defiance invades the fortress that is Zions Bank Stadium to try and slow down a surging Real Monarch side. It's Wednesday Night Soccer, a special edition on July 12th at 10 p.m. on ESPN 3. Douglas Martinez starting to pour in some goals for Real Monarchs. Their head coach, Martin Vasquez, looking to follow up what was a phenomenal 2018 for the Monarchs. Producing some of the best young players, not just in the United States. As Epps gets to that cross, can't find a teammate, and it ran out of bounds. Carlos Salcedo starting for Mexico in the Gold Cup, a former RSL Academy player as well. Epps there not able to get to that one. Started the season hot. His first year with New York Red Bull, a goal and 3 assists in the opening month. Hasn't put up a stat since then. Still has had strong performances, but maybe as one of the more experienced guys, we haven't seen him carry this team as much as you'd expect.
I'm really big. I'm against stats. I'm not a stat guy at all. And I think he's done really well. When I've watched him, I think he's done really well. He's been positive. He's taken guys on one-on-one. He's gotten chances. Still plenty of work to work on for him for sure. But I think he's done well. And I don't like to look too much into stats. I think he's definitely on the right track.
Do you think the normal coach will see that?
I would hope so. I would hope so. I know a lot of guys are, especially this is a result-oriented business, and a lot of guys get caught up in the stats. But the stats can tell you a lot of different things. And some of the greatest players in the world didn't have great stats. So I think it's important to look at the value of the player and what he can add, his skill set and what that can add to the team.
Beautiful opening here for New York. Yanez cuts in and pulls the shot just wide. 3 or 4 red shirts, though, open on that far side there. Mike, first real look of the game.
So much space on that side of the field. It's unbelievable. Giannis does really well to cut inside. He can almost chop it back to Vincent there. You'd like to see that, but he does the right thing. He gets inside and gets himself a chance. He's a left back, so he's getting himself the chance when he can. But ridiculous amount of space there on that weak side.
Alan Giannis coming back from a successful Toulon tournament with the Guatemalan youth national team. Already made his full international debut against Argentina for Guatemala, who are looking to resurrect their national team program after a few years of suspension. And it looks like Yanez will be a big part of that over the next few years. Has played both left and right back for Coach Wolenek and his time with New York Red Bulls too. It's probably helped him get on the field a couple of times because of his flexibility.
Yeah, it's very important for your right and left backs to be really technical players and smart players. You see there, he gets himself a chance by cutting inside, and he's in the right position at the right time. It's really important. They have a lot of the ball during the throughout the game, so it's really important that they're technical, even in somewhat attacking-minded players.
And Coach Wolenek was saying to you that will be a factor in this game, is the fullback's ability to get down, to get up the field, get to the end line, and cut it back for those 2 wingers who then can go inside and be finishers.
Yeah, you could see exactly what John said in that last chance. Their Ottawa's outside backs are so tucked in.
Mistake here, an opening. Howarth in on goal, puts it by Loro, and Ottawa has the lead on the road. Opportunistic, maybe, but what a scoring season it has been for Carl Howarth. His 5th goal of 2019.
Yeah, it seemed like a miscommunication, almost like 2 outfielders bumping into each other there.
Long ball over the top, bounces. And he goes with the right foot to the inside post to beat Loro.
This is one of my favorite finishes. Not this one in particular, this is a really good one, but what I mean is by picking that near post, it's really hard to defend from the goalkeeper, and he usually doesn't think you're going there. So to be composed and to just hit it on the near post, it's such a sneaky little finish, and it works a lot of the time. I used to love doing that. And that's a really cultured finish. The miscommunication there with the center back and the left back is unfortunate and probably shouldn't happen.
Preston Kilwine there has stepped into the starting role since Sean Nealis moved into the MLS squad more consistently. Nealis in the stands here today. But Coach Wolenek talked with you about Kilwine.
Yeah.
He said as a young guy, okay, you can get by for 2 or 3 games. That's a positive. But can you put together 10, 11 strong games as you become a professional?
That's right, and that's a big part of it. Anyone can show up and play in a training session or in a game and do well. How consistent can you be? How accountable can you be? Organized, especially in that position. And there you see a little bit of a miscommunication. You never really know whose fault that is. But at this level, it's pretty rare that you see that.
Fans, you can follow New York Red Bulls too and the Ottawa Fury the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. Ottawa knocking it around now. Howarth feeling confident. Can't quite find the feet of Oliveira.
Well, Oliveira and Howarth there, really, really good play. Some really quick bounce passes to each other and playing right through the heart of the New York Red Bull 2 defense.
ESPN Plus is the home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up at ESPNplus.com. Had all of Copa America on ESPN Plus. Very convenient for me with my girlfriend on her family vacation. Just pop it up on the phone as if you're not even watching.
ESPN Plus is great. It's such a great thing to be able to keep up with all the games, and you can hear us on ESPN
Yeah,
Plus,
right. That's the main
which is
reason,
the best part
for
of
sure.
it.
Number one. Number two is watching Brazil play, but number one is listening to us broadcast. I would agree with you. Slide tackle there. ENS knocks it out. And it'll be a throw-in deep in that half. Brazil-Peru facing off 4 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. The championship of the 2019 Copa America. What a fun experience it is to watch this Peruvian team come together. And, of course, Brazil.
That's right. The performance from Dani Alves the other night.
Yeah.
He's getting up there, right? He's an older guy.
35 years old.
So exciting to watch and just so fun to watch. If you're a right back or if you're a soccer player, that's a guy you want to watch before.
You watch him and it's like, yeah, you make sense why he made it to 35 now. Not just the physicality.
Just so smart.
So smart.
I always felt that as well. As I got older and gained more experiences, I was more knowledgeable, and I think mentally I was a better player. I knew where more.
Big moment here. Gagnon Lapierre. He already picked up a yellow card in this game, and that'll be it. In the 24th minute, the Ottawa Fury will go man down on the road against New York Red Bulls 2.
Really foolish if you're a yellow card, and especially for an experienced guy. Really, really foolish.
And we talked about it when he picked up the first yellow card. For the position he plays, you're going to have to commit some fouls, but that wasn't a necessary foul. It was a throw-in, closed in on it, and the 24-year-old just put his foot up in a dangerous spot.
Yeah, I want to see it again, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Studs are up, going for the ball.
Well, that's kind of what happens there. He's a little late there. It's unfortunate, but because of the first challenge where we don't know if he was late or just trying to make his presence felt, now he's out of the game, and his team's away from home against a very good New York Red Bull 2 side. It's going to be difficult.
Neither of them were overly egregious, but they are 2 yellow cards. And you want to see a referee, if you give one early yellow, to continue to call what you believe is a yellow card, whether that person's holding one already or not.
Yeah, I know he's trying to block the ball there, and he's a little late, but his studs are up. He's flying in. It doesn't look as bad in the slow motion, but in real time, he's come flying in and he has no breaks there, and that can happen.
Nikola Popovic came into this game saying, we need to manage minutes. We've got a lot of games, a lot of travel. This does not make it easier now.
This does not make it easier. It's going to be a difficult challenge for them.
He's got some experience on the bench if he chooses to go to it. As we take another look at this one.
Yeah, seen it in slow motion. It definitely is a little soft. It's harsh, I think, to send them off. But again, in real time, he came flying through, and it's the risk that he took.
And you say that's one of the things people talk about when you make a last-ditch tackle where your foot up is. You give the referee the decision to make, whether it's correct or not.
Yeah.
You put yourself in that spot as the offside flag goes up here.
That's right. This will be a good game and a good chance for a good opportunity for the New York Red Bull 2 team to work on a team now that I think will sit back and be tight and compact. It'll be a good opportunity then for them to sort of build play and be patient around the box and get these opportunities and sort of unlock the defense and a defense that's sort of bunkering in, because I think that's been their Achilles heels over the years.
Antoine Couplin and Cameron Shaw, 2 academy players, looking to make their professional soccer debuts on the bench for Ottawa. Otherwise, some great experience in Nana Atakora, Maxime Tissot, as Loro gets pressured there. And Robert Boscovich as well. So
Dixon done well there.
And this one will go in favor of New York. Free kick coming. And now our goal scorer, Carl Howarth, getting a little talking to from our head official. Long ball over the top. So, Mike, you're trailing by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Opening half, you go man up. What's the conversation like on the field? Are you talking about anything, or is it just stick to what we came in trying to do.
So for me, I'm doing exactly the opposite of what they just did in that last play, is give the ball away easily, because the defending side, they want to rest, they want to be compact, and they don't want to be running around chasing the ball. They're a man down. In my mind, you're opening up the field as much as possible, and you're not giving them a chance to see the ball again, and you're making it really difficult for them to defend spaces and making them shift by just moving the ball. So opening up the field, getting guys in gaps, and just passing the ball with some sort of intensity and quickness and sharpness, and making sure that they don't have a sniff at the ball. For me, they've already touched the ball too much here with the man down.
We've seen since
Ottawa.
New York went man up, they've played in tight spaces, trying to play up that right side. Have not stretched the field wide. And now Ottawa is exactly what they'll want to see over the course of this first half. Free kick coming here.
So far, the opposite of what I would do. Fouling them, letting them take time off the clock, just making it easy for them.
And these are going to be the best chances Ottawa gets over the course of this game.
Probably the only chances. Should be the only chances is set pieces. And I think with New York Red Bull, too, we know that they can pick balls up in high press and get goals and sort of overload you. But can they break down a defense that's bunkered? It's been difficult for them to do that. So this will be a good exercise and a good opportunity for that. But they need to keep the ball, open the field, move the ball quick, and don't not give Ottawa any chances like this.
Howarth takes this one. Beautiful ball in the middle of the box. And a foul will go against, an offside flag will go up against Ottawa. You'd think this is the perfect game for Vincent Bezecourt. A guy coming back. He got 45 minutes at Nashville. That game postponed, so it doesn't count on the scoreboard, but that doesn't matter. It's all about for him working back from injury. Then 90 minutes at Charleston. This should be a game where he gets to do what he does best. A lot of touches, ability to try and pick that defense apart.
Yeah, he's a clever guy, a really good player. I had the pleasure of playing with him for a few years, and I've always been a big fan of his. He's a guy who can create something out of nothing, and he's a great finisher and a really good person. So we'll see what he can do tonight. But this is a really compact Ottawa team now you're seeing.
Zayats. Wide here for Buckmaster. Down the line for Epps. Closed down. Beautifully handled by Ottawa as they look to play back out the other side. It's going to be a lot of work for this back line. Dakota Barnuthan making that tackle back home close to his hometown of Massapequa, New York. A 24-year-old in his first year with Ottawa, played for Coach Popovich at Swope Park Rangers. And now following him up to Canada. I mentioned Sean Nealis in the house, also a Massapequa native. One of my least favorite towns on the planet.
Same.
Ton of representation. I don't like Glen Cove much more, but I do like Glen Cove more than Massapequa.
Glen Cove is a great place, but yeah, I
There's
remember
something
playing
about the
against
water in Massapequa. Everyone's 6'5" at the age of 10.
I'll tell you, we used to play against him when I was, when I was a youth soccer player and out in Long Island, and it was always a tough place to play, man. They were tough, and they were physical, and they were huge.
Yep. Something about what's going on over there. It's nice to know that even when you go and play for Leeds United and in MLS Cup playoffs, you still have the same animosity for Massapequa. It's good to know that if I had ever made it there, I'd still feel the same. Kilwine stepping forward, part of this young New York Red Bull 2 group. An opportunity now as Zayats will get behind this strike and couldn't keep it on frame.
Oh.
It hits a fan back behind the goal.
A fan just took that to the face. I hope she's okay. That was a pretty powerful volley.
Zayats coming in there, getting a whole lot.
Oh, she never saw it coming. But good strike and good bit of play. I mean, I'm not a fan of the long ball into the two banks of four, but it comes down and a really good strike there. So.
And for this Ottawa team, you lose a central midfielder, so someone's going to have to come in and play in that space. Otherwise, you're going to see openings in those second balls for the New York Red Bull 2 midfield.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're going to, when they're defending, it looks like there's two banks of four with one striker. So I think one of the strikers drops in and sort of fills that space.
Tackle won by Kilwine. Free kick will go against Elney. Fans, you can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. search for New York Red Bulls 2 or Ottawa Fury, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on New York Red Bulls 2 next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. As we mentioned, Ottawa will play Halifax, the first time they will ever play a Canadian Premier League side. That one coming up on July 10th. Then they will host Louisville City in their next home game on July 14th at TD Place in Ottawa, as Coach Wolyniec does not look exactly happy with what is going on out there on the field. His team here, Mike, man up, but as you've said, since they've gone man up, they haven't done the things you'd like to see. When you're out there on the field, how do you readjust things? Is it one player talking? Is it Coach Wolyniec talking? Or is it everyone figuring it out on their own?
It's got to be both, I think. But it's got to mainly come from the players. And I think, like I said, patience is a huge recipe here, a huge ingredient of what they need. Patience, open up the field, and it should be a lot of passing. It's going to be tough to break them down because they're so compact. But you see this giving away the ball very easily, giving them a chance, cheap fouls, slowing down the game, really not playing this well here tonight, the New York Red Bulls.
Carl Howarth having a great game right now. He's got the go-ahead goal for his side. He's drawn 3 or 4 fouls now, especially since his team's gone down, and it looks like he's going to be one of the players who drops into midfield to help defend with the loss of Gagnon Lapierre.
Yeah, he's had a good night. He scored a really good goal. He's passed the ball well. He's got a little energy to him. And he's drawn a couple of really smart fouls, slowed down the game for his team. Good touch there as well.
Howarth looking for some space. His cross deflected. It'll be won back by the home side. And Sebastian Elney, surrounded by white shirts, he's able to get a touch to it. But then Epps can't keep it in possession for New York. It's been a perfect start for the Ottawa Fury outside of the red card against them in just the 24th minute. Ottawa with a lead on the road. The game has gone the way they'd like it, but they are going to have to do a lot of work defensively to try and pick up those 3 points and jump New York Red Bulls 2 in the Eastern Conference standings. Scarlet's ball over the top. Buckmaster's able to get there. Cuts it back quickly. Epps leaves it for Zayat. Switch the field, and Bezecourt's first-time shot goes just wide. A beautiful look there for New York, and Bezecourt just not able to get his foot around it.
Yeah, good play. They switch the field, get it to the other side. This is a good pass here. And Vince, you could just see a little rusty there. I mean, he's a good finisher, and he's a good striker of the ball. It is on his weak foot, but he's normally really good with those. That's a good chance.
And if you're New York, you got to recognize there's space when you are in possession, especially around the top of that 18, where those central midfielders would be for New York right now.
Yeah, that's right. The cutback's going to be on, and getting the ball wide is important, and switching the angle of attack. So there in that last play, they switch the angle of attack, makes the back line shift and go back, and then they cut it back, and there's a lot of space there. They actually get it back across the box for Vince. Really good opportunity for him.
Zayat here was the man with that pass to set it up. Epps cutting in field. He somehow gets through 3 defenders, takes the left-footed strike, and Irving will watch that one go wide.
That was really good from Epps. Really good. Tight area, closed down, creates a little something out of nothing, knowing his space is there. Really good composure.
Marcus Epps, in his first year with New York Red Bulls, drafted by the Philadelphia Union, playing the bulk of his time over his first 2 years of pro soccer with Bethlehem Steel. Epps, 2 appearances in Major League Soccer for New York Red Bulls. This is his 14th appearance in USL. The Jackson, Mississippi native. Abassi, the towering left back, coming forward now. Good footwork from him, and eventually gets called for the foul. Final 10 minutes of this first half. New York Red Bulls 2 trailing. There was a miscommunication in the back, a collision between Yanez and Kilwine. Carl Howarth did not need to be asked twice to finish that one off, as now Chris Manila and Alan Yanez get into it. And you'd think...
It's good. There's a little fire in this game, so it's good.
You'd think after 3 yellow cards and a red card for Ottawa, you'd react a little bit and change a little bit. You're right. Good intensity. This is the 3rd time Ottawa has had a player sent off against New York Red Bulls 2 in just their short history. New York Red Bulls 2 only a team now over the last 4 years. Ottawa playing in NASL before joining the USL Championship in 2018. So this has been a fiery matchup between these two teams. Over the last 2 years, it's been the Education Day game played early on a weekday in Ottawa in front of some fantastic crowds in the capital city. I think it was Canada Day last week.
Was it?
I should probably know that before I say it out loud, but it was. And of course,
I
July 4th
would not be able to confirm that
week.
for you.
It was July 1st.
July 1st.
So
okay.
it was this week. Yay. So Canada Day and July 4th. These two teams get to represent.
That's right. I can't understand how it's taken so long for the New York Red Bulls to get control of the game. They don't have control of the game. Ottawa's done really well. They get their goal and they're sitting back now and they're making it difficult. They're keeping the ball when they can and drawing fouls. They slowed this game down. And New York Red Bulls, really, aside from that chance, haven't made it difficult for them.
Is that inexperience for New York? Is it style and philosophy that they don't know how to get away from what they normally do in a game?
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about experience, how many of these guys have been in this situation where they need to break down 2 banks of 4 with a striker and they're down 1? I mean, probably only a handful of times. So, in my opinion, here it's the ball is just you open, the ball just gets pinged around on the floor. You get the ball wide and you're just crossing balls constantly, and you're playing high percentage passes most of the time.
Stroud trying to let that one go for Yanez. It's put back out by Ottawa. Can New York turn up the pressure a little here in the final 5 or so minutes of this first half? Kevin Oliveira down stretching a little bit. The Cape Verde international. You got to think the heat will start to wear on both these teams, but especially this Ottawa side. And now Chris Manila getting involved with a different New York Red Bull 2 player this time.
Yeah, they've got a bit of bite to them, and they want to win. It's great for the game. It's great for everyone watching tonight. It's great for both sets of players.
Kilwine now strides forward. All 10 outfield players for New York.
That's right.
In the attacking half.
That's right. Within 10 yards, there's 2 lines of defenders standing probably less than 10 yards away from each other.
Kilwine allowed to come all the way into the attacking third.
And those balls just they kill me. They kill me to see it, because you look how slow the game is now. They get a chance to rest. They haven't shifted. They haven't really had to defend anything there. It was just so cheap, such a cheap giveaway. Ottawa hasn't been able to defend. They didn't have to shift or defend or do anything there in that situation. Whereas maybe that ball doesn't need to go in the air. Maybe you open up a little wider, that ball gets pinged on the ground. If it's closed, get it back into the midfield, back onto the other side, and let them shift, let them defend, let them be uncertain of where guys are running and where guys are going to be. But to do cheap giveaways and long balls now, I think it doesn't make sense.
Epps now running down the right side, puts it across the face of goal. No one there in a red shirt. Bezecourt trying to hunt it down. His slide tackle took a touch off Howarth, but goes out off of New York in the end. So more defensive work here from Carl Howarth. Right now, Ottawa looking to see out these final few minutes. This would be a welcome sight to go into the halftime locker room with a lead, down a man for the bulk of this first half on the road. Francois chasing. Kilwine tries to cut back. And Francois gets called for the foul.
Good defending from Kilwine.
And now Zayat's in possession to the feet of Epps. Zayat's over the top for Buckmaster. Obasi comes over and puts it out. A lot of the attack has come either through or around Marcus Epps in this first half for New York Red Bulls too. Zayat's back to his center back. Once again, Scarlett and Kilwine pressed up all the way into the attacking third. Elney brings it down. The volley from Stroud is blocked, and Irving beats Elney to it. The Canada International, University of Kentucky graduate, Callum Irving.
Yeah, Giannis for me I understand that when they're defending, when the New York Red Bull 2 team is defending, I understand that he needs to be tucked in and across the other side of the field. But in that example, when they have the ball and they need a guy wide, there's just no width. There's not enough width. And when there's not width, it becomes super easy to defend. Can you imagine just standing in a line of 4, you're defending, you're Ottawa, and you're standing in a line of 4, and the guy who could be 30 yards into the sideline, he's standing right next to you. Now you're standing only 5 yards away from your next defender. It makes it so easy for you.
And it's normally something New York plays wide. They're normally a team that gets their fullbacks up the field but out.
Yeah, I mean, Ottawa wants to be compact and narrow right now because that's where the goal is. So that's what they want to defend. They want to be compact and narrow. So you need to get them opened up. You need to get them opened up and shifting. Sort of like what's happening now.
And you saw Yanez react there as the ball came across the field, but he was pinched in once again. Interchange now down the middle.
Like the patience here, the movement of the ball, it's very important.
Bezecourt picks his head up.
And any balls centrally are going to be difficult.
Kilwine comes through the back there of Manila. Manila's already had an active first half, to say the least. And now Carl Howarth will pick up a yellow card for consistent talking there to Elvis Osmanovic, our head official.
Howarth has done a little bit of everything today. He's back there defending, tackling guys. He scored a goal. He's played well. He's getting a yellow card. He's getting involved. He's snapping around. So he's done well tonight. He's been involved, certainly.
And if you're Coach Popovich, you're going to trust guys like Howarth, who are experienced, to walk that line that keeps them locked in and involved and hyped up. And you hope not over the line.
I certainly would. Yeah, I certainly would. He's been the best player tonight.
Carl Howarth picks up what is the 4th yellow card for Ottawa. Gagnon Lapierre picking up 2 of those, though, in the opening 25 minutes to put his team man down. And now you see New York Red Bulls, too, are dominating possession but not creating the chances.
Even the width of the 2 center backs, they need to be further apart from each other. They're standing 15 yards away from each other. So it becomes really easy to press that. You know, one guy is able to press that and put them under difficulty like you see in this last play. Spacing's been a little poor.
Would you, as a midfielder, want to come take that ball off the center backs in that spot to assume the passing responsibility? Or is that the center back's job in a game like this to be able to hit clean passes from that spot?
No, I mean, you have a man up, so I would prefer, and I've always liked when one of the center midfielders drops in between the center backs, and the center backs are real wide, and then you got your wing, your outside backs even higher than that. They're almost like midfielders, especially in this situation where you could be overly aggressive.
Good footwork there from the experienced Brazilian Thiago. Ball down the line, and Oliveira not able to catch up to that one. But it takes a deflection, so it will be Ottawa ball here as we enter a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time, thanks to that 20th minute goal from Carl Howarth, our lone strike so far, and that 24th minute second yellow card to Gagnon Lapierre for a red card. New York Red Bulls 2, down a goal, up a man. And it has been a less than inspiring first half for this home side. There's now a big opportunity coming here for Ottawa to try and kill some time, get a dangerous set piece. You see the size of Obasi coming in to the box. Two center backs as well. Guillier. Swallows Barnuthan coming forward. So plenty of options for Howarth to hit this one. Everyone back to defend for New York. Howarth curls it in. Laurel gets a punch to it. Ottawa trying to get a second look at it, and New York's able to clear. And Manila will go all the way back to his goalkeeper. Bezecourt puts on some light pressure. Mike, if you're Coach Wolenek, how do you talk to your players? What's your message at halftime?
I just think they haven't dealt with the situation that's at hand. Playing against a team with a man down, being down a goal. I think they haven't dealt with it well. I think it almost seems as if they don't know that they're a man up, and they're just sort of playing the same way. And look, I'm saying that, but they haven't done bad. They've gotten opportunities, and they've just been a little bit. They haven't been sharp with them and haven't been clean enough with them. But I think they still have gotten opportunities, and with their ability, that they're going to make this really difficult for Ottawa. But they can do it so much more efficiently.
For Ottawa and Nikola Popovic, you go into halftime. How do you make sure it stays the same?
I think more of what they're doing. Like, you see that shot there, to me, that's nuts. You know, you're up a man and you're shooting from 40 yards away. It's just hard. It's hard for me to understand the reasoning behind that.
A lot of frustration for New York. Surprised to see so early on a massive mistake. Miscommunication between Kilwine and Yanez allows Carl Howarth, and he's clean finish, puts his team up 1-0. 4 minutes later, a red card to Ottawa. And Mike, since then, Ottawa Fury have been the better team.
No question about it. They've done everything they had to do. Since they've been a man down, they've played well. They're compact. They're defending. They're slowing the game down, getting set-piece chances. They've played it perfectly since the red card.
New York Red Bulls, too, trying to bounce back at home and get their first win in over 2 weeks as they return to MSU Soccer Park. But right now, a lot to be done. Any changes that you think you'll see, or just tactical in the second half?
I think just tactical. I'm sure John knows what's going on, and he's gonna open them up and get them playing, getting balls wide, getting balls in the box. So whether he brings on another striker or not, or plays a different way, it remains to be seen. But for sure, they can get themselves back into this game and be more efficient.
A lot to look at here. We'll recap your first half and look forward to your second half coming up here on ESPN+.
With MSG Go, the game goes where you go. So you can watch live Red Bulls games anywhere you want. It's free and easy because if you get MSG, you get MSG Go. Watch your favorite team wherever you are with MSG Go, presented by Lexus. Download it for free where you get your apps.
Gets it back. He will take a strike.
Played in. Laurel gets a hand to it.
Denied by Laurel from point blank.
He's standing on his head right now.
Marcus Epps finds some space.
Barlow putting it in, back of the net. No slowing down, number 74. New York puts the exclamation point on this one tonight.
Young fans out, excited for this one. July 4th week, as well as the week of Canada Day. A great time for a matchup between Ottawa Fury FC and New York Red Bulls 2 here on ESPN+. David Goss and Mike Grella with you. The sun setting on this one, and we look at our star player update. Cristiano Francois just hasn't had the opportunities with his team down a man, but everyone for Ottawa has worked hard defensively.
Yeah, everyone for Ottawa has worked hard. Francois he's applied himself. He's done well. It's going to be difficult for him in the second half to get any chances, but we'll see. He's done well. As
New York pushes forward, there's going to be a few chances on the break. 1 goal so far. Carl Howarth able to put it in for the Ottawa Fury. And on the flip side for New York Red Bulls 2, Jared Stroud was the man we were excited to watch. A few bright spots in the opening few minutes, but then once they went man up, he almost disappeared.
Yeah, you can see his quality. One touch he takes in the second half is awesome. Like, he gets a really bad ball and takes it down and does well with it. But it's been really quiet from him. It's, they haven't had the desired outcomes yet, and we'll see in the second half.
We've seen him pinch in, exchange a little with Vincent Bescourt. Do you want to see more of that, or do you want him to stay wide in the second half?
Absolutely. You want to see some more exchanging, some more playing. You'd like to see that.
This might be a man you see in the second half. Ben Mines made his New York Red Bulls 2 debut in August of 2016. Helped lead one of the most successful New York Red Bulls team in the Generation Adidas Cup in 2017, and then scored that goal against the Portland Timbers on his pro debut. One of the youngest goal scorers in MLS history. But since then, injuries have slowed Ben Mines' development. We see bits of it, but it hasn't been a sustained success for him in his young career.
Yeah, he's still young. He's got a long way to go. He's just got to keep at it mentally and stick to the plan, stick to being disciplined, and I'm sure he'll put something together and he'll be an exciting guy to watch in the future.
We expect to see him come off the bench at some point in this second half. He's played up top and out wide, but he has been electric when he's come on the field. Coach Wolenek still looking for a spark as his team trails 1-0, man up here as we head towards the second half here on ESPN+.
Monarchs go for goal, and they find it! Opiel's gone for goal, another deflection, off the post and in! Tacoma on top, shot, and goal! What a beauty! Justin Dillon moving up the middle, he's going to push that ball wide toward Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a first touch cross back inside for Dillon, and a goal! Inside the 18, shot, push wide! Loose in front, it's Freighter! What a hit!
Dia plays it into the box, headed down,
oh
and
my
Freighter!
To Kiesewetter, Kiesewetter, in for the goal! Nice cross, Kiesewetter, he's in!
Asante outside the box, Asante, goal!
Asante on the first time! It's Rios! It's a great cross! Daniel Rios again!
Ryan Brown sends it, and it's a goal!
Ryan Brown! Lubin, what a save! A second save, loose in front! And Lubin guarding the post.
Denied by McCarthy!
A lot more height on it, McCarthy, a great save! On the volley!
Oh, what a save!
Newton again. Collier curls, saved.
Oh, looking for a shooting lane, coming to loft, pipped away! He got it on frame, Olsen up to the task.
Dico with a touch, great save, Tempakis.
Shot on, Tempakis with a great save.
Nice little 1-2, Caleb Richards. Richards getting it back. Caleb Richards.
And Douglas Martinez able to put it back in.
Martinez puts it back to Coffey! Goal!
Lofted ball in, Williamson!
Good build up here for Portland Timbers, too. Good chance for Williamson.
Swinging away, header, Robertson! Follow up in from Lobo!
Well, the header comes in, a great save, and on the follow!
Outside of the top of the box, it's dangerous from there! What a fantastic finish!
What a first half of the season it has been in the USL Championship, and there is so much still to be decided. You look at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds doing what Bob Lilly does, starting the season a little slow, but with games in hand and slowly moving up the standings. Another win midweek, this time against Bethlehem Steel on July 4th. The Tampa Bay Rowdies leading Indy 11 by just 2 points. Martin Rennie's side with a game in hand. And you see for New York Red Bulls 2 and Ottawa Fury what this game means. A chance for Ottawa to jump Nashville and New York, and for New York to try and get in to that third place spot. Take a look at the scores from around the league. Good July 4th action. Some action out west on top of those two games, with Colorado Switchbacks falling late to Orange County SC at home, a dramatic equalizer from Las Vegas Lights, and then you see Pittsburgh Riverhounds with that win. North Carolina FC drawing Charlotte Independence back with Mike Jeffries on the sideline, and a weather delay down in Atlanta for that one as Atlanta United 2 hosting Charleston Battery. Take a look at the storylines from around the league. The two conferences heating up. Reno trying to close on Phoenix, but huge news coming out today. Brian Brown, their leading goal scorer, the Jamaican international who performed so well in the Gold Cup, he has been transferred to Albania. So Reno will have to try and get all the way back to catching Phoenix without him. Solomon Asante leading the Golden Boot with 12 goals and the league with 9 assists. And you look at the action out in California, Fresno knocking off Sacramento Public 1-0 on July 3rd. A dramatic game as those two finished with red cards for either side. Diego Casillas with the winner on that one. Adam Smith trying to lead Fresno to a higher finish this year than he did in his inaugural season. Look at the first half stats in this game. 62-38 possession. You'd expect that number to maybe get even higher here in the second half as the Ottawa Fury man down now for the entire second half, thanks to that red card to Jeremy Gagnon Laparé. But they've got the one goal on their one shot on target. For New York, 0 shots on target in that first half. So a lot more work to do in this one if they want to get their first win here at home in what has been over 3 weeks of play. This team trying to go into what is a hectic portion of their schedule with what would be a big home win. The big brass out, Dennis Hamlet, as well as his coaching staff, watching over this one to see who will perform, and the fans want to see a win to start their July 4th weekend. But right now, Ottawa Fury doing the business on the road, 1-0 lead, down a man. We'll see what do we have in store for you coming up on ESPN+.
Lema gets it back. He will take a strike.
Played in. Laurel gets a hand to it.
Denied by Laurel from point blank.
He's standing on his head right now.
Marcus Epps finds some space.
Barlow putting it in, back of the net. No slowing down, number 74. New York puts the exclamation point on this one tonight.
With MSG Go, the game goes where you go. So you can watch live Red Bulls games anywhere you want. It's free and easy because if you get MSG, you get MSG Go. Watch your favorite team wherever you are with MSG Go, presented by Lexus. Download it for free where you get your apps.
The fans enjoying a little halftime festivities here at MSU Soccer Park in Montclair, New Jersey, as the sun has finally set. So now it's just a balmy 175 degrees here at MSU Soccer Park. A little bit of a slow start, Mike, between these two teams, but Ottawa, clearly the team who had an idea of how they want to come win this game.
Yeah, they've been more efficient in their chances and more mature in their play. They've got more chances, and they put their chances away. Unfortunate for the red card.
Howarth with the early cross here in the opening minute of play, trying to set up his teammate, and Howarth would have a lot more action coming up in this one, both on and off the ball. This, the first yellow card for Jeremy Gagnon-Lapierre in just the 10th minute of play. And when it happened, you said right after Thiago got a yellow, you got to be careful as a center mid.
Yeah.
You need to use those yellows at times.
Yeah, he's really late on both challenges.
This the mistake by New York, and Howarth with the clean finish.
Yeah, crazy mistake, at this level, but it happens, and it's miscommunication. Howarth really composed finish there to wait and tuck it into the near post. If you see, there's not much space there, but it's almost impossible for the goalkeeper to stop that.
5 goals on the year, his best ever season, 7 goals in 2016. Carl Howarth enjoying life, and then this, the moment that we thought would change this game, but so far hasn't been the biggest factor, but a second yellow card just 12 minutes after the first yellow card and 4 minutes after the goal for Gagnon-Lapierre.
Yeah, seeing that again, it looks a little soft for the second yellow card to make it a red, but I'll tell you, I'd argue that actually made it better for Ottawa.
Yeah, it allowed them to sit in.
Yeah.
You see, we mentioned it, a hectic schedule coming up for New York Red Bulls too. They head to Bethlehem Steel for a midweek game, then they host Atlanta United too. On the flip side, for Ottawa, you look at their schedule, it looks like they have a little time to breathe in terms of USL Championship play, but a Canadian Championship game coming up on the 10th as well. And now they have to finish this out with 10 men here in the second half. But as you said, Mike, from the moment they went man down on, they played better, and they seem to enjoy this game more.
Yeah, they play better. It's a simple task for them at hand now. They know that it's going to be difficult for them to get another goal, so they're sitting back. They're being compact. They're in 2 lines of 4 with 1 striker. Narrow and deep. It's tough.
So a halftime change for John Wolyniec. Not much of a surprise. You talked all first half about Alan Yanez not understanding his attacking responsibilities at fullback. Janos Luba, a college number 10 who's converting to fullback. He's already got 2 assists from that spot. He comes in at halftime at left back.
Yeah, Giannis was just not wide enough. He didn't take advantage of the opportunities that he had. And we'll see what... So
official confirmation of that sub. Janos Luba, the Fordham graduate, the alma mater, of course, of John Wolyniec.
Yeah, we'll see what Luba can do now in the second half.
And these are the games you would think are poised perfectly for the 23-year-old out of Germany. One of the best number 10s in college soccer, had 7 goals, 11 assists last year. That was good for 4th in the nation. 7 goals, 9 assists the year before. And now learning that left back spot. But the reason New York's so excited about him is his ability to attack from that fullback position.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it's those guys get the ball a lot. The outside backs get the ball a lot. So you need quality there. You need good players there, guys that want the ball and want to create chances and whip balls in and stuff like that, and also recognize different situations in the game. It's important that those players are technical.
Callum Irving will blast this one long. For Ottawa, you have to think Nikola Popovic. He's going to be, as much as he can, guided with those substitutions to try and manage minutes for his team. He's got those 2 academy players in Antoine Couplin and Cameron Shaw, who are looking to make their professional debuts on the bench. He does not have Wall Fall on the bench, one of their star players who could give some serious minutes in this one. He's back at home in Ottawa with his wife, expecting his first child. So congratulations to the Fall family, and our best wishes go to them. I'm sure Ottawa fans will love to see him back in the lineup as soon as possible. Elney here on the run. That one, he can't get in his path. He's able to win possession back. Stroud coming forward. White shirts around him. Now Luba with space. Knocks it back to Lima. Into Zayats. And once again, you see, just like the first half, New York Red Bulls too. All 11 players in the attack. Buckmaster gets that cross away. Obasi is able to bring it down, and then he blasts it out of bounds.
Good start from Red Bull 2 here. It's quicker. They're moving the ball. It's more aggressive.
Steps down the line for Buckmaster. Into the feet there of Bezecourt, and it bounces up off his arm.
You always wonder what the Heat guys are trying to actually conserve energy, and and it looks slower and it's lethargic, and now that the sun's come down a little bit, it looks like there's a little bit of speed in the game, especially for New York Red Bull too, and we'll see if Ottawa can deal with that moving forward now in the second half.
You talked about it in the first half. You've seen it here. The pace of the passing. Just don't be lazy. Hit it with quality, crisp. Move the defense a little bit. Give people an opportunity to find openings.
Absolutely. It's been a little too slow.
A little bit back to the feet of Loro. Evan Loro has been the lockdown starting goalkeeper now over the last 3 years. He goes long to Epps. And the flick on.
I'm instructing my team here. The ball's not leaving the ground anymore, because I just think it's crazy that Ottawa are getting balls and able to win throw-ins and set pieces in your end with a man down. I mean, for me, the goalkeeper of New York Red Bull 2 there, Evan Loro, shouldn't be kicking the ball long. None of the defenders should be either. They should be opening. I mean, you look at the three of those, the two center backs and the deep midfielder there. Zayat and Jordan and Kilwine. They're so close. I mean, they're like 10 yards away from each other in a triangle where that needs to be. They need to be like really spread out, so that's the foundation of being able to play and spread them apart. And they're just too close to each other. They're not defending anybody. There's no one there. I can understand if you say like they're rest defending or they're trying to stop a counterattack, but there's no striker there.
Kilwine takes the long strike. We saw that in the first half as well. You worry that frustration if it builds up this early in a game. It's only going to get worse for New York.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And, they are a man down. Ottawa's a man down. That's why they're playing the way they're playing. They're making it difficult for the New York Red Bull side. But when you play in playoff games and you play in big games throughout the season, this goes across the board in any soccer game. Teams are going to play with 11 men like that. They're going to sit in a 4-4-2 or even more than that. And they're going to say, come break us down. And if they score first, you need to have an answer for that. And you need to have a way to play against that.
That's something we've seen for New York Red Bulls, too, over the last few years. In games where teams sit back, they don't allow them to win the ball in transition. Where are the goals going to come from? And Scarlett there trying to head it back for Loro, and Kilwine has to handle that one because Francois was closing on him quickly.
And I think you can see there's been a lot of changes to the back line of New York Red Bull 2. And you'll see in the first half the goal comes from a miscommunication. This is another huge miscommunication. And it can result in another goal.
Howarth putting the pressure on there. Loro comes over to take it.
And although there's things that John can say and do, primarily it has to come from the players in the field. Someone's got to take charge and be a leader and be clear of what they want and what they're doing, especially in those quick situations.
And you think Bezecourt, Stroud, those are the guys where this is, for New York, as experienced a group as they put out there sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. We haven't seen much of Bezecourt. He's supposed to operate in the space between the back line and the midfield line.
Turnover here from Stroud. Ottawa, and they're all white kits, looking to break the other way. Manila down the right side. Trying to get around Kilwine. And Kilwine able to come over and defend that one calmly. And now New York going back the other way. Stroud has that one poked away. Right now, Ottawa. This isn't the way Nikola Popovic wants his teams to play.
Yeah.
But you said it's almost going man down, gives them the freedom to play a little bit uglier, but more effectively.
Well, they have no option, really. When you're a man down, you sort of need to, especially with the lead, you need to sort of bunker in a little bit and hit on counterattacks, hit on set pieces. I mean, there's no other real play.
Mayor Guigier trying to handle the work defensively, and he has now knocked away the attack 3 straight times. The right center back for Ottawa. And New York, can they open up their attack? Buckmaster pulling wide. He doesn't have much support.
If you were to freeze a picture here and watch New York Red Bull 2, there's like 3, sometimes 4 guys just standing on the back line. Standing on the back line in a really stagnant position and really narrow. And that's so easy to defend against. The ball comes wide. The ball comes wide to Buckmaster here, and there's really nobody around, and they're a man up. I mean, they should be outnumbering them in all the situations. There should always be 3v2s or 4v3s because there's always a man down, so they should be unbalancing them in any way they can, and they just haven't been able to do it.
New York right now looking for that fortunate first goal that maybe can inspire them in this one. It'll be Stroud and Bezecourt over this one. Right on top of the 18 on that far side. We've got Elney and Scarlett in the box, but Kilwine staying back behind the play to defend. Stroud hits it low, right on the hands of Irving, who fumbles it and then is able to recover.
Good strike. Stroud can strike a ball. He's proven that. It's a good strike, and the goalkeeper has to do a lot better. I mean, you can't drop that ball.
Elney out of his feet, back to Lemma. And now Stroud, he hits this cross on frame, and Irving punches it away to be safe.
For me, that's the key to success against a team that wants to sit back. Ball wide crosses, rest defense. Don't let them out. Make it a really long night for them.
Jared Stroud there trying to catch Callie Irving, cheating on that one. Luba with some space. Clips this one to the far post. Kilwine heads it down. Too far for Elney. He saves it from going out. Now Stroud looking for that second cross. His cross is blocked low, and Kyle Zayats rockets it into the back of the net. And we've got a tie game here at MSU Soccer Park.
Good finish, and that's, for me, that's the recipe against a team that bunkers in. The ball's got to go wide, and it's got to get crossed inside the box. That's difficult to defend all night. Those balls in the box and challenges like that, very difficult to defend against.
And credit to Sebastian Elney saving that ball there. Then he gets back into play to make it hard for the defense. And Kyle Zayats, as a defensive midfielder, his 4th goal of the season.
Yeah, good ball across there, really good. And it's just a mathematical equation. You know, if you're crossing balls like that, it's really hard to defend against. And especially if you're shifting it, getting the ball from one side to the other, and they have to defend that, it's hard.
For this New York Red Bull 2 side, they finally get the breakthrough. And that man, Jared Stroud, with the assist on that goal. Once again, another fantastic season for Jared Stroud. That his 5th assist of the year, already the all-time leader in New York Red Bull 2 assists. Mike, you're looking at this one and thinking maybe this first goal now allow some of the pressure and anxiety to release from New York, allow them to flow a little more offensively.
Oh, absolutely. I think they've got this game in their hands now. It's all up to them and what they want to do. I think Ottawa, you could see their body language right when that goal happened. The front two didn't even really track back, and they're a man down. They're away from home, so it's just it's up to what the New York Red Bull 2 team wants to do now.
All the substitutes off the bench for both these sides. Getting warmed up as we hit the 55th minute. I think you'd see a move or two for Ottawa coming up over the next few minutes. The sun down, so the temperature has dropped significantly, but it was hot when this one kicked off. New York made the 1 sub at halftime, bringing on Janos Luba, who had a nice little clip ball to start that play the far post of Kilwine.
Yeah, that's right. He just lost one up there for the big man, and he knocks it across to keep the play alive, get the ball back across on the floor. Really powerful finish. In those finishes, you just want to hit the target as hard as you can.
Can Ottawa trouble New York once again? It would be a fantastic moment here for Ottawa. They could take the lead back, headed away in the box. Now Epps clears. Francois will get there first ahead of Stroud. Can New York break the other way? Vieira trying to keep it in, and Obasi, a huge win for him. The goal scorer Howarth now with red shirts around him, and Buckmaster heads him off. They're back up the field to Obasi. And now New York will look to launch the press a little. And Irving goes long down the line. And that one will float out. And it's almost perfect, Mike. That temperatures dropped about 10 degrees right as the goal was scored. The crowd gets into it. This is what New York's looking for to try and get the energy into this game.
Yeah, it's all up to them now. They've got to keep the pace of the play. They've got to look at that width there from Luba. It's very important. Ball across, defenders facing their own goal. That's, to me, is the recipe at how you play against a team that wants to play back. With getting balls wide, if it's not on, switching it to the other side and getting balls in and across the goal. When you have defenders facing their own goal like that, they do not want to defend that.
And we didn't see anything like this from Alan Yanez in the first half. Luba, in 10 minutes, has brought what you think Coach Wolenek was looking for with the sub.
Yeah, Yanez, I thought, did well. I thought he was okay. I thought he was good on the ball, and he had that one opportunity in the first half. But Luba's giving them some natural width and some quality with that left-footed cross.
Scarlett somehow wins that one over Obasi. Bezecourt, space to bring this one down. He's got Epps wide of him, puts it in the path. And Marcus Epps in an offside position.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll have a replay of that and if that was offsides or not. But if it was, that's criminal from Epps. I mean,
spoken as a true winger.
Yeah, that's just like something that would absolutely infuriate the coaches. But I mean, by the naked eye, it did not look offsides. But we'll see here, I guess.
And Bezecourt held it maybe a little longer than Epps expected, but it looked like Meyer was the one holding him on as the center back.
If you're a striker, it becomes difficult because you don't know what's behind you. But when you're running a line like that, you're a winger, you can see the entire line. So it's criminal if you go offsides when you're a winger.
Mike Grella opening up a jail here and just keeping wingers in order.
I've done it a million times myself.
I was going to say, you've never been guilty. Irving blasts that one long. David Goss and Mike Grella on the call for you here on ESPN+. Every USL Championship game available to you here. Of course, so much more soccer. Copa America, the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals coming up next week on ESPN+. Obasi knocks this one away. Of course, Major League Soccer available for you as well. There's a ton of ICC action. Scarlett, another miscommunication there between him and Loro.
Interesting. They've played a lot of games together, so that's interesting.
It's the one partnership in this team that has a ton of experience.
And listen, it can happen. It's happened too many times tonight.
Lima able to find that one through. Epson on goal, trying to cut it back for a teammate and can't find anyone. This one clipped to the far post. Irving gets out to take it.
It was a good bit of play to get that opportunity. I think Epps waited a little too long, and then he could have smashed it a little bit more in front of the goal.
It's one of those awkward spots, Mike, on the side of the box where you could take an aggressive touch in to try and get a shot away.
That's right.
But once you take that touch away to the side, everyone knows you have to cross it at that point. Buckmaster into the feet of Scarlett. He can't find Epps on this one.
I'm not sure where Elney was on that play, but he's got to be crashed in the box. They're true strikers. They stay between the center backs. They make it really difficult, and they wait for those opportunities. I had the pleasure of playing with Jazzy Zardes last year, and he's done unbelievably well off a crash in the box.
Well, a second striker coming on here, Matthias Jorgensen, 6 goals in just 8 appearances in his first year in the United States, including a hat trick here at MSU Soccer Park against the Birmingham Legion. And Jorgensen will come on for Marcus Epps. Once again, you said it, stats don't always show it. What did you see in the performance from Marcus Epps here today?
Yeah, I thought he was good. I think he has the right intentions, and he's a dangerous player. He's a guy who can take guys on one-on-one. It hasn't really happened for him here tonight. Like you say with the stats, maybe it hasn't happened for him. He's not in good form. But I think he's an exciting player to watch, and attacking-minded player for sure. Just needs to be a little bit cleaner in the final third, maybe.
Howarth trying to break up that right wing with Luba down. Big win there from Preston Kilwine. Down the line for Luba, alive in the box for Stroud, and his shot is saved.
What an amazing save and a good opportunity.
Stroud collapsing in frustration there. Take a look at this save from Callie Irving. Time and space for Stroud.
Oh, it's such a good save because he can't see it the whole way, So it's a good save. But again, it's the ball wide and the ball smashed across the box. And it's so hard to defend against. And if you're doing it against a team with a man down, it's really It's really going to ask a lot of questions of him.
You'd think with Jorgensen in, he'll play a little more central, give another target in the box for New York alongside Elney. It'll be Bezecourt to take this corner kick. Kilwine coming into the box late. Bezecourt hits it, goes all the way through out to Luba. This is how New York scored their first goal. Right after a corner kick. Stroud clips that one from the far side over the far post.
Yeah, for me, Luba has definitely added something to the game. And he hasn't done anything amazing yet, but he's just done everything that you want him to do. He's added natural width. He's crossed dangerous balls inside the box. He's advanced himself. He's defended well. Sometimes simple, efficient players are my favorite players to watch.
Luba learning that left back role. For Coach Popovich, he's yet to make a substitution. It's a yellow card coming here for Chris Lima. The first yellow card of the game to New York Red Bulls too. Coach Popovich said it was a tough game at Tampa Bay. High intensity, 92nd minute losing goal in that one. Then they had to take a 9-hour bus ride here to New York. And then they have a midweek game at Halifax, the first of 2 legs in the Canadian Championship, followed up, of course, with a matchup against Louisville City, the back-to-back champions of USL. So a lot to manage for Nikola Popovich, and it looks like he's getting ready to make his first substitution here.
Yeah, really difficult to manage those types of schedules. And now with the red card, it just becomes even more difficult. And we're talking about it's July, August, so it's really hot. So guys are tired in the 70th minute, you know. So managing what the guys eat and their training schedules and their traveling plans are huge.
Although you can guarantee Gonier Lepere, with the red card suspension, he'll play 90 minutes against Halifax in the Cup.
Absolutely.
In between these 2 games, as you see these New York Red Bull 2 fans, the first time in over 2 weeks they've gotten a chance to come out and see their home side, who had a 3-game road stand, which on the scoreboard goes down as a 2-game road stand because of that weather delay in Nashville. That game already rescheduled coming up in August. New York Red Bulls 2, a game also canceled in Birmingham that they started and played about 15 minutes of. That one will be played in the final week of the season in October. Howarth clips that one in. Scarlett heads it down. 3-on-3 on the break right now for New York, and they'll try and get after it. Flying forward now is Jorgensen. Clips it over for Bezecourt. The left-footed shot hits the post and back into the arms of Callie Irving.
That was fun to watch.
Jorgensen end-to-end stuff, and Bezecourt just gets unlucky.
They're not as easy as you think. You know, the goalkeeper's in an awkward position. The ball's coming to you. You got to decide what you want to do. This guy's trying to defend the line. Difficult for Vince there. He's been a little rusty in front of goal. I have to say from that play, Jorgensen, awesome speed, awesome awareness, and you could tell he's a high quality soccer player.
Danish U19 international in his first year in the United States. The most expensive teenager to come over in Major League Soccer. 6 goals in 8 games in USL Championship play. And you said it, Mike, we've seen the speed from him, but the decision there to draw the defense and to cut that one back for Bezecourt, unselfish, intelligent. Yeah. They just don't get that final touch.
I think Jorgensen's a really good player. I think he has a lot of quality. I think, in my mind, he's not a number 9 that can play alone. I don't see it. But somewhere else, as a withdrawn striker or like a false number 10 that plays on the wings that comes inside.
Chance coming here for New York. Jorgensen gets the touch, and Irving makes another save.
Wow.
Callum Irving having a day right now, denying New York Red Bulls 2, his team down a man, and he has kept them in it here. Stroud with some space, gets the cross away. That shot's blocked. Now Lima to shoot. Another block, this time in the box by Meyer Giger.
Look at the intensity of this. Look at the flow of this. Look how fast it is, and And obviously, Ottawa's going to try to slow it down and slow the game down. I mean, he's taking a pretty good shot there, but you just see the difference in the intentions and the movement of the ball and the width of the field. You just see it. Jorgensen and Luba have been a big part of that.
And this is what you're used to seeing from New York Red Bulls, too.
Yeah.
Coming at you from all angles, not resting, quickly taking free kicks, throw-ins. It wasn't what we saw the first 45 minutes.
What a save.
Save
What
by
a
Irving.
save. He's having a great night.
3 saves here in the second half that have been some of the best we've seen all year. And then his back line maybe seeing that from him, and they start to put their body on the line to protect him.
Yeah, for sure. They're a last-ditch defending, right? They're just throwing their bodies at the ball right now, and it's just too quick for them. The ball's coming across the box. They're coming from every angle. Guys are running hard across the box, so it was always gonna be a tough task, especially once New York Red Bull 2 figured it out. I mean, I'm not sure how much John told them at halftime. I'm sure he did, but they seem to have figured out that they need to get the ball wide. They need to play with a little bit more intensity, faster movement of the ball, and get balls crossed.
The Rampage out, supporting their squad, looking for their team to get back into the win column. 9 wins already here in 2019. Sitting in 4th place in the Eastern Conference, would move up a spot with a victory here and would put themselves back into touching distance with the top of the conference after a win. New York Red Bulls 2 would move to within 3 points of Indy 11. Excuse me, within 1 point of Indy 11 and 3 of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's all for a later day as Jordan Scarlett once again looking for that dream strike.
I know it's tantalizing because they're sitting back, right? So it's tantalizing for you to just have a shot because they're all sitting back there and you're getting to tee this thing up, right? But in my opinion, move the ball, let them defend. Don't take those low percentage shots unless you really, haven't had one in a while. But they've taken like 4 or 5 of those that haven't been anywhere near, and it's just sort of just killed the momentum.
Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. And as we mentioned, 2 academy players on the bench for this Ottawa team. Ottawa Fury, managed by Julian de Guzman, former Canadian international, who is helping build the next generation of young Canadian players. Antoine Coupland, just 15 years and 6 months old, the 3rd youngest player in Canadian history to sign a pro contract, as Obasi gets over there behind Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy with Toronto FC 2, and a guy named Alphonso Davies, who's had a decent career in just about 3 years. And a good Gold Cup with Canada, and getting ready to head into preseason with Bayern Munich. This ball put into the box. Meyer Guiger back on after that injury. And he blasts that one up over the top of the locker rooms. It'll be Chris Lima to take. First half goal from Ottawa to take the lead. A red card in the 24th minute. New York trying to come all the way back, and Irving comes out and snags that one before the head of Kilwine. Cool breeze starting to blow across the field as the sun sets. And these 2 teams will finish it out under the lights. It was a 1-1 draw up in Ottawa. A dramatic stoppage time equalizer from Jared Stroud in that one. Well, we have more late drama in this one. Only closing down Irving. Francois wins that first header. And now Lemma down the line. He can't find a teammate.
Yeah.
And how well has Ottawa handled every time it looks like New York kicks into gear?
Yeah.
They slow the game.
They slow the game down, but I think New York Red Bulls, they're playing against themselves in a lot of these situations. Jordan Scarlett takes that long-distance shot, sort of kills the momentum. Zayats here has an opportunity to pass it back to the other center back and get out on the other side and have Ottawa Fury have to slide and defend, 60 yards back, and he just clears it instead. And so they're sort of doing it to themselves. They're making the game a lot more difficult than it needs to be. And at times when they figure it out and they get the ball down and wide, they've been really effective and really dangerous.
And what a great moment here for Maxime Tissot. Missing most of the 2018 season with a torn ACL, made 2 appearances. This his first appearance of the 2019 season, so welcome back to Maxime Tissot, the Quebecois native, here in his second year with the Ottawa Fury. Won an NASL championship with the San Francisco Deltas alongside another Ottawa player, Nana Atakora, under Mark Dos Santos, now playing under Nikola Popovich, his former assistant coach. Part of a heavy contingent of former Montreal Impact Academy players and Quebecois natives.
Look at that width.
Lubov flying forward now. His cross is blocked. It'll be another corner kick coming for New York.
That width has really made Ottawa struggle defending that. They don't know what to do, because if they slide out to that, they're going to leave a lot of space on the other side. So, and if they're constantly sliding, they're going to get tired.
Lima takes this one. Kilwine heads it down. Could not get any power on it. Safely into the arms of Irving. And claims there for a foul against New York as they got in the way of Irving trying to take that one quickly. Obasi floats it down the line. Tissot with those fresh legs. Man down since the 25th minute. Nikola Popovich has only made 1 substitution. Long ball over the top. Jorgensen runs under it. And finally, Meyer Guiger is able to recover. With Barnouth in there battling.
Yeah, Barnouth struggling a little bit there to keep out with Jorgensen. Really worried about the pace of the young Danish striker.
That one behind Elney. Bezecourt pressuring Obasi. Now Irving. His low ball bounces through the field. Does New York have that one more gear to go to? The offside flag stays down on Bezecourt. This clip ball can't find a teammate.
Yeah, Bezecourt's been very rusty tonight. He hasn't played well. He hits the hits. He gets a couple goal scoring opportunities that if he's sharp, he scores them. And I know how talented he is and how much quality he has. So for sure, it's just these things. He just needs to get back to where he was, and with his fitness and with his mental sharpness in the box and technical abilities in the box, because he certainly has them, but he just hasn't had them tonight.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Lima with bodies around him.
Oh, I'm not sure. They can get away with one there.
It looked like the foul went against Oliveira, but then Lima fouled Dixon right after that.
Yeah.
Dixon sliding into central midfield here with the addition of Tissot off the bench. A chance here, and Bezecourt for the second time tonight hits the post.
Again, Bezecourt there is trying to hit the ball to the far post with a little bit of loft and a little bit of control and spin.
Zayats now has the goal already, and his shot easily taken in the end by Irving.
He's trying to hit in the far post where the goalkeeper's not, with like a controlled, lofted spin shot. And he just catches it a little too lofty and a little too straight, and he catches the bar. I don't think his intentions there were to chip the goalkeeper or to loft the goalkeeper. I think he just wanted to place it in the far post. I've seen him do it a million times, and just lacking that little bit of sharpness. So.
And that's not a bad hit. I mean, there are few players in the world who are going to cleanly clip that ball from that spot at that speed.
If he's sharp, in my opinion, I mean, I've seen him do that in training a million times. He knows he has got to hit it in the far post there. He's got to lift it a little bit. He's got that in his bag, that's his shot. I mean, that's his angle and everything. That's his strong foot. So, it's just a little bit of sharpness, and strikers need that. And guys that are good around the goal, which he certainly is, they need to just get that back with more training sessions, working on their finishing drills and stuff like that, and especially nights like tonight. I mean, he knows that he could have done better tonight. He could have probably had 3 goals tonight, but he's getting used to it now.
Dixon, you see down there on the field. He's had a strong performance today at right back, trying to work his way back into the lineup. He was a full-time starter last year. He's lost some minutes this year under Coach Popovich. This will be a promising display from him. And it looks like Nana Atakora is ready to come on. What a luxury for Coach Popovich to bring on a 30-year-old, 9 full caps, World Cup qualifying for Canada. Experienced player on the back line for this Ottawa team.
Yeah, I think he sees that they're struggling a little bit.
So it'll be Atakora to come on. You have to think maybe Coach Popovich was hoping to get Atakora a full rest as one of the Canadians on his team, a guy probably will see a bulk of time in the Canadian Championship. But with the injury to Dixon and the red card, as well as we said, some other players not available today, Atakora will come on, a natural center back, so it looks like he will go in at center back. Howarth playing at right back right now for this Ottawa side. Dakota Barnuthan, it looks like, will step into the central midfield. Bad turnover here from Irving. Bezecourt now has some options. He takes the left-footed shot and immediately blocked by Atakora. Almost a critical mistake there from Irving, who's been phenomenal in this game. Laurel coming out. He's pressured by Francois. There's 2 goalkeepers right now.
That's really good goalkeeping there. He just takes matters into his own hands and comes and reads that. His 2 center backs were in very vulnerable positions there.
Bezecourt with the layoff now. Zayat's working up the right side with Buckmaster. And Meyer Giger able to shield that one out. Beautifully done by the center back. 10 minutes left in this one. Ottawa Fury looking to hang on to what would be a critical road point. They are 2-2-4 on the road here in 2019. They have played, at this point, over 50 minutes man down on the road. And they are tied with New York Red Bulls 2, who are the 4th highest scoring team in the entire USL Championship.
Yeah, I think they have to be proud of themselves if they get out of here with a point, which I'm not sure they'll do. But they've done everything that's been asked of them, and they're hanging on now. So tough place to come away and get a point.
As we expected, Ben Mines up off the bench. He'll be the final sub for Coach Wolenek in just a moment. Interception here by Lima. Jorgensen with space, curls this one, and it's just wide of the far post.
Good strike from Jorgensen, good awareness.
You can tune into ESPN 3 on July 12th at 10 p.m. for a special Friday night edition of Wednesday Night Soccer. The Tacoma Defiance invades the fortress that is Zion Bank Stadium to try and slow down a surging Real Monarch team. That one coming up on July 12th at 10 p.m. Tacoma Defiance, the breeding ground right now for Seattle Sounders young players. Daniel Leyva making his professional debut, 16 years old, starting at central midfield for 90 minutes in an MLS game.
Pretty cool stuff.
It's a different era right now.
It is a different era in this country, and it's definitely moving in the right direction. You need guys that young getting experience in big games.
Like this man, Ben Mines, who scored as a 17-year-old against the Portland Timbers. He comes on for Buckmaster. We've seen Coach Wolenek do this a couple times. Mines will play as a winger/fullback to try and get more numbers into the attack for New York. Obasi will throw it back in. Scarlett going through the back there of Oliveira. And this now becomes a massive opportunity for the Fury.
Yeah, another play that just doesn't make sense when you're a man up. You don't need to be overly aggressive there. And you imagine if Ottawa gets a chance here or scores. I mean, they're man down. They're sort of struggling right now. It looks like New York Red Bulls have definitely had the better second half, and they've sort of figured things out, and they're becoming more dangerous. But can you imagine you give up a set-piece goal now over just an overly aggressive foul? One guy who's standing in the corner really can't hurt you from there.
Popovich would love that one. As he watches on with his team, Ibrahim Sakaya, assistant for New York, trying to organize their numbers. It'll be Maxime Tissot, the substitute over this one. His left-footed service whipped in. It's dangerous. It's headed, and it goes wide of that post off a New York head, and it'll be a corner kick coming for the away side. Maxime Tissot making his return in the USL Championship. Over a year absence with that ACL injury. Can he help his team get over the line? Another dangerous ball played in, alive here on the top of the box, looking for space to shoot. And in the end, no venom on that one. And now New York will try and counter the other way. Initially out through Luba. Lima into his feet once again. A missed pass on the return, and Luba wins possession.
I just think it's just cheap giveaways, and they've got to be able to recognize.
Zayat's there with a bad giveaway.
They've got to be able to recognize when it's time to go to the other side of the field, and it's not just a vertical game, You need to be able to know when you need to switch fields, and you need to be able to keep that width. That's important.
And everything you talk about with New York Red Bulls too, youth against Ottawa's experience. Right now, it's been Ottawa's experience that has trumped New York Red Bulls 2 in this game so far. They have managed this one perfectly. Every time it feels like the chances are coming fast and furious. The crowd's getting behind it. Somehow Ottawa kills the game a little, takes some air out of it, gets a dangerous set piece the other way. Olivier on this one, header to the far post. And it goes wide of Loro's goal as we head into the final 5 minutes of regular time here.
At the beginning of the second half, New York Red Bull 2 had a firm grasp on this game. They hadn't scored yet. And it seemed as if as soon as they got the goal, they sort of lost grasp of the game again somehow. And it's been slower and more in favor of Ottawa Fury to get their 1-1 result.
And this game started out blazing sun, real feel of 85 degrees. The sun has gone down, the temperature has cooled, but you can see a bit of that effect as these teams have played sloppy at times. Zayat's the goal right now for New York. Incredible chance coming here for Ottawa. It's Francois, 1v1 with Scarlett, who chases him the whole way, puts it out for a corner kick, but that'll be job well done for Ottawa.
Yeah, for sure. I think in this particular play, they could have got a little bit more from it. Francois got a lot of speed. I think there he hesitates to put the ball across the box when Jordan didn't really know what he was going to do, and he was not close enough to him. And then Jordan, really good defending there to stick with him and slide and knock that ball out of play. But Ottawa, last 10 minutes, has come back into this game and looks like right now they'll certainly get the one result, but this looks like an evenly matched game the last 10 minutes, which is worrying because obviously they've got the man down.
It'll be Howarth, the goal scorer, to take this one. He's got 5 assists on the season. A little conversation in the box now. 4 assists for Howarth, 5 goals. It was a clean inside of the foot to the near post finish after the mistake between Kilwine and Yanez. And now Howarth, the longest tenured Ottawa player, will take this one. The initial header won by Elney, second one knocked down. And now New York will look to clear their lines a little. Manila, beautiful switch of the field for Howarth. He beats the first man, gets it across and hits Loro's hand. I don't know if he really saw that one coming, but he puts it out for a corner kick.
Awesome bit of play there. Awesome ball out there. Good ball across the box, and then looked like what was a good save. Oh, what a good... Is that a save, or is that off the post?
No, I think it's a save. It was off of Kilwine's foot on the cross.
Wow.
And
Awesome
Lauro,
save.
as he was going to the middle
Yeah.
to try and save the cross, comes back with that left hand and saves the deflection. Otherwise, Ottawa was going up here. It's another dangerous header.
It's just good strength to keep your hand that strong. I mean, your hand's... It's on its own, so really good strength from Evan.
Push in the back there from Stroud gets called, and Ottawa has managed these last 5 minutes perfectly in this one, and they've been dangerous on set pieces.
They've been dangerous on set pieces. They've been dangerous on some counterattacking situations as well. And, again, New York Red Bull 2 has fallen into this lure of cheap fouls. They're giving up cheap fouls. They're giving up set pieces, long balls into nothing, long-distance shots, and no clarity in what they're trying to do when they're attacking or when they have the ball. I mean, for the beginning of the second half, they got guys wide. They got crosses into the box. It was very clear. It was fast. It was, and then they've sort of fallen back into this lethargic, inefficient gameplay.
Scarlett there with the long clearance towards Stroud. Stroud's able to save possession here. Luba charging forward. Great defensive work there from Francois, and he wins it back. For this Ottawa side, they've gotten stronger as this game's gone along. Francois now flying forward. He's able to beat 2 defenders. He goes down, and the flag goes up from our assistant referee, and a free kick coming here from Ottawa, for Ottawa. And this home crowd not happy at all with that call.
In my opinion, that's a foul. I mean, he's done well to get between those two guys. I don't know what the referee's waiting for, but then the linesman waves a flag and they get the foul. But they've looked really comfortable in the second half.
Sezapan Zaiwa, our assistant referee, on that near side, finally raises his flag, and Elvis Osmanovic, our head official, gives the yellow card now to Preston Kilwine. So second yellow card of the game to New York. It was 2 yellow cards in the opening 25 minutes to Jeremy Gagnon-Lepierre, which we thought would be the major deciding moment in this game, but Ottawa has handled the game since that perfectly. They've given up the 1 goal to New York, but otherwise, right now they are on the verge of stealing 1, if not 3 points from this road game against New York.
Yeah, 45th minute to the 60th minute. Yeah, like I was saying, 45th minute to the 60th minute, 65th minute, total control. They seem to have figured it out. Intensity, looked really, really good. Looked like there was no way they're not going to win this game. And then they somehow, just after the goal, just lost the grasp of the game. And Ottawa's, you watch from the 65th minute to now, you don't know if anyone has a red card, and it's just an evenly matched game.
So minimum of 6 minutes of stoppage time. You saw Francois there wave to his bench as the yellow card was shown that he was fine, just going to take his time, but wanted to be able to stay on the field. He will be able to. This one taken quickly, and it's headed over. Offside flag goes up on that near post. Lauro takes this one quickly, but the ball's still moving. We are into those minimum of 6 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, the ball's still moving.
And that one taken too far ahead. This one taken too far ahead as well. There's a reason you become an official. You can't turn and say, who cares about the exact details? And now a yellow card will be shown to Evan Lauro for complaining. A silly yellow card to pick up over the course of a season when suspensions could become into play. Lauro, of course, not trying to waste time. He's actually trying to play quickly.
Yeah.
But he gets himself in trouble.
Yeah, I think it's just he's trying to go quick, and he ends up taking 2 minutes to take a free kick.
Mines now. Beautiful tackle won by Obasi. The deflection falls for Mines. Another huge tackle in the box. That one won by Barnuthan. A huge moment there for Ottawa. Trying to see this one out. Under the lights at MSU Soccer Park, and what a tackle there by Barnuthan. Started at center back, now playing in center mid. And the deflection going off New York. The clearance, excuse me. And that one will fly all the way out off the foot of Irving.
You see, there's only a few minutes left, and they've got the man up, and now there's this urgency to get the ball forward, but they still need to maintain that composure in that organization and patience to still get because the spaces are wide, and they need to switch balls from side to side, get the balls wide, and get crosses in. I know you want to be quick and urgent, but the thing is you can't take long distance shots right now, and you can't give the ball away easily. I think there still needs to be this composure, like sort of like what they just did right now. It looked really, really good. That cut pass in behind, and the ball across the box, and that can be 2-1 right there, end of the game.
A great deflection by Obasi. Otherwise, Mines was in, charging into that box behind the back line.
This is much better. Big width from the center backs, balls in the box. But then that cheap, the cheap giveaways.
As there's space here for Stroud, looking for Elney. Bodies go down. Jorgensen pushes it wide for Luba. It's knocked down in the box. New York's trying to hunt it out. Ottawa can't clear their lines. But no quit there from Howarth. He has been immense today. And now Ottawa's going back the other way. Francois unfortunately slipping on that far side.
Jordan Scarlett, good defending. Sometimes strength beats speed. He's a big, strong guy, and maybe he's not the fastest guy, but it's really difficult guy to just push the ball past and get around. He's a big body, and he's very aggressive.
Is there one more chance left in this one for either of these teams? A tackle there from Stroud. It's going to be a free kick coming for Ottawa, and they are going to take their time with this one.
That's right. Yeah, every time they give away a cheap free kick or a cheap foul, it's going to be close to a minute off the clock.
Carl Howarth has been immense in this game. The opening goal for his team. As we see the mess of bodies falling all over the place. That's the chance Luba's looking for.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure if he should put that on target or cross it, but in that situation, I don't know if the cutback was on from that camera angle. But those are the plays. Those are the plays that you want.
Ottawa now. Can they see out these final few minutes? There should be even more than 6 minutes of stoppage time added. And some of the extracurriculars we've had in these 6 minutes already. But either way, not much time left. Lima into the feet of Bezecourt. Bezecourt, he's hit the post and the crossbar in this one. Clips this one over for Luba. Headed down in the middle, and Irving reads that one perfectly.
Good ball from Bezecourt. Good little switch. Good header cross.
See the replay of that one. Bezecourt sets it up for Luba, trying to find Jorgensen. And now we'll have the final substitution of this game. It'll be Roberto Boscovich, on loan from Toronto FC2, coming on for Kevin Oliveira. Try and see this one out for Coach Popovich's side, and he would be ecstatic if he's able to get a point out of this one.
Yeah, this is a really hard place to come and get a point, especially with a man down. That man down was a blessing in disguise in a lot of ways because they were able to really play defensive and get away with it. And I think the New York Red Bulls 2 squad has they played very well tonight, but I think they could have been a lot more efficient in some of their decision-making and some of the ways that they attacked the team bunkering in. When they found that spaces wide and crossed balls, you could see that 20 minutes they really were dangerous. And when they went back to what they were doing in the first half, just lost control of the game again.
You said how hard it is to come here and get a point. New York Red Bulls 2 have only drawn once in 2019 here at MSU Soccer Park. The second game of the season against Nashville SC.
Yeah.
Another game where they trailed early 1-0 and had to fight back. Really has been the story for them every year, but especially in 2019. And Ottawa, they have done exactly what they came here to do. And New York looking to steal 3 points at the end. Stroud's first cross block. Adekora with the clearance on the second one. And that'll be the final whistle. Ottawa Fury playing over 60 minutes of action, man down on the road. And they are able to steal a point at MSU Soccer Park.
Yeah, that's got to feel like a win for Ottawa Fury, no question about it, and a loss for New York Red Bulls too. They had a lot of time with a man up and didn't take full advantage of it.
For Coach Wolonek, you see there, talking to Coach Popovich, his team now 3 straight without a win. A little frustration for them coming out of this one.
Frustration certainly, but being worried about it, I don't think so at all. They have a lot of good players. Really good coach, really good attitude around this place, and they'll be fine for sure. They create a lot of opportunities tonight.
Ottawa and New York Red Bulls too. A 1-1 draw as the two teams continue to move up the standings in the Eastern Conference. A hard-fought draw at MSU Soccer Park. We'll be back in just a moment with your post-game action here on ESPN+.
Lema gets it back. He will take a strike.
Played in. Laurel gets a hand to it.
Denied by Laurel from point blank.
He's standing on his head right now.
Marcus Epps finds some space.
Barlow putting it in, back of the net. No slowing down, number 74. New York puts the exclamation point on this one tonight.
These fans out on a vacation weekend. They were looking for 3 points. Their team got one, a dramatic one. David Goss and Mike Grella with you on ESPN+. Mike, that man, Nikola Popovich, is going to be happy. Final thoughts from you on this one?
Yeah, certainly feels like a win for him tonight. He got the job done. The red card sort of tilted the game, made it easy for Ottawa to defend and get a point, and New York Red Bulls didn't take advantage of it. It was a fun night, awesome night for soccer. This is a great place to play. ESPN Plus is an awesome place to watch your soccer.
We take a look at the stats. 67% possession for New York Red Bulls too, but just not dangerous enough. 6 shots on goal, and Callum Irving was huge in this one, but just not enough production from New York Red Bulls too in the end to try and get the win.
Yeah, for me, I thought they actually created a lot of chances, and they did well. I just thought they could be more efficient with the man down. I thought they could get even more chances and even better chances, but they were not sharp enough in front of goal tonight.
Man of the match has to go to Carl Howarth. The goal, the defensive work. Ottawa Fury get the draw. New York Red Bulls 2 move to 3rd in the Eastern Conference with this draw, sitting on 31 points, tied with North Carolina FC, 3 points behind Indy 11. But for Ottawa Fury, they head into Canadian Championship play on a high after this one. It wasn't clean, it wasn't easy, but Ottawa Fury FC for the second time this year draw New York Red Bulls 2 1-1. This could be an incredible playoff matchup coming up. It was a fun regular season one. For myself, David Goss, Mike Grella, and all of us here, thanks so much for watching, and have a great weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.